Working hard to come up with a competitive car version, Mercedes seemed to be facing other issues rather than the technical ones. After many analyses predicting a better season for Silver Arrows based on the latest simulation results and the updates shared with the media recently, some have been comparing the front teams, expecting Mercedes to have a better season compared to its rivals. Based on Ferrari's complicated situation after Binotto's departure and Red Bull's struggle with the development penalty, Mercedes are the only one to be having more stability to work as a team. However, some reports are actually talking about some problems inside the team, particularly between the two team drivers, that might have some serious impact on the team next season. Is it real? What's the story behind? Stick around, we will be revealing all for you. Some recent reports talk about the relationship between the German team elements, drivers to each other, boss to drivers, and technical staff to drivers and boss, taking it as a very strong factor for Mercedes, especially after the hard season they've been through technically. And the prediction about Hamilton's retirement came fast to the wall to deny all these predictions, confirming that Lewis Hamilton will be continuing the journey with Mercedes for some more years. Then some voices came to open a new discussion about the relationship between the two team drivers, talking about some tension after George Russell achieving his first pole position. A very impressive first season at Mercedes for the ex-Williams driver. Russell has been consistent performer, taking 7 podiums and 1 pole position in 2022. Despite the struggle with his W13, in front of the camera, everything is going well, but reports kept talking about problems inside the team, particularly between the two drivers. Russell came in November during an interview denying all this, saying that he was still the same driver even with what he achieved this year, and he will be working to improve his performance more and more. For sure, confidence is high and the morale within the team is booming, but I don't suddenly feel transformed overnight. I still feel like the same driver as I was this time 1 week ago. I always believed that I could achieve victories, and you believe you can become a world champion. Continuing in the same interview about the tension with his teammate, the 7 times world champion Lewis Hamilton, Russell said, "There is no tension between us. There has never been any tension." This season, George Russell did become only the 3rd teammate in history to beat Lewis Hamilton. The other 2 were Jenson Button and Nico Rosberg. This made Russell's place in the team a bit special, not like any other driver, especially that it came in a very tough moment of Hamilton's career. The apparent relation between the two Brits on camera was considered as an advantage for Mercedes, while Verstappen is firmly cemented as number 1 and will not in any way be challenged at Red Bull by Perez. It is a different scenario at Mercedes. There is a special dynamic chemistry between Hamilton and Russell as one passes on all his knowledge and experience to the young talent who's supposed to push the team forward during the second half of the decade. Russell took Mercedes' only pole position in Hungary and only win of the season in Brazil. Some took this as a stress or pressure factor inside the Brackley squad. However, the relationship between the two is different, with the driver certainly open to team orders if the situation requires such intervention from the pit wall. However, Russell's last statement during podcast turned everything around. Russell recalled there were moments during the season when tensions were running high. When asked if the dynamic between the two Mercedes drivers, himself and Lewis Hamilton, would have been different if the two were fighting for the title, which might be the case next season if the new car would be really competitive. Russell said, "I think for sure the dynamic would have been slightly different had we arrived at the first race and had the fastest car on the grid. There has been a huge amount of late nights throughout this season, a lot of tension at times between drivers, teams and designers with regard to, are we on the right track? Do we need to be doing something different, more drastic?" These were difficult conversations. We come away from them growing closer together. We've got such great leadership within Mercedes that we are now all pushing in one direction. I truly believe this experience we've been through this year will lead to more long-term success. According to Sascha Roos, the commentator from Sky Sports Germany, the year was remarkable on several fronts for Mercedes. The talented Brighton scored more points than Hamilton and reserved his place for next season. Indeed, Russell may soon be the team's first driver. I didn't expect Russell to score more points than Hamilton. I think Hamilton will come back next season. But whether he will be the undisputed number 1, I dare not to say. I think at Mercedes we're going to see a similar situation to the heyday of Nico Rosberg and Hamilton. I'm pretty sure that they will start the new season at about the same level, and that after a few races within the team, they will decide who to rely on. Of course, that also depends on the performance of the car in the first races. This comparison between the two Brightons opened a vast debate, but Russell came up to rectify things around confirming that racing side by side with such a legend Lewis Hamilton is a great opportunity for himself to learn from his teammates' rich experience in Formula 1. I feel very fortunate to be in this team, a teammate of Lewis, learning a huge amount and being pushed to my limits. It's not easy being teammates with somebody as fast and great as he is, but it has been a great year in many regards. What we will do, every single person in this paddock. We are so fortunate to travel the world, us driving the fastest car in the world around the best tracks in the world. I'm knackered now, but still there's a lot to look back on and be happy about. Do you think the next season would put in front the tension between the two drivers? Will the 2023 be the comeback for Hamilton, or will Russell take the lead? Tell us in the comment section below. Drop a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're interested in receiving Formula 1 fresh news and analysis. That was all for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.